Today we are working Psalm 58. Psalm 58 is one of the cursing psalms, and it's frequently used to overcome lies, to overcome the effects of lies of others, for protection against snakes and wild beasts, and to reverse evil. Today I'm going to be focusing on using Psalm 58 to stop cruelty. So if there's any cruelty in your life that you need to address, whether it's coming at you or from you, this psalm is a good psalm for that. The way we work psalm magic is simple, easy, and effective. We take the psalm that we're working and we read it out loud all the way through once without stopping. This is frequently called an incantation. Then we take that same psalm and we go back through it and we take each verse one at a time and consider the hidden or occult meanings behind each of those verses. And as we search and find, dig, and apply what we find to the situation that we brought to the psalm, we are planting deep in the fertile grounds of our minds magical seeds that are in the psalm, where they, in a very real way, take root, grow, blossom forth, and then bear fruit after their kind. And that's exactly what you and I are going to do together right now with Psalm 58. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. As a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. Before your pots can feel the thorns, he shall take them away, as a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked, so that a man shall say, Verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Verily, he is a God that judgeth in the earth. This is quite a psalm, very challenging imagery in this psalm. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? It's an interesting translation that the King James Version has here, because in the Hebrew, instead of congregation, it's more great ones or gods or lesser spirits. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? So we're asking our deep minds, we're asking ourselves, we're asking the entirety of the congregation within us if we judge rightly. It's not our function to judge. And even if we're talking of these lesser gods, it's not their function to judge either. There's only one judge, and that's infinite intelligence, because it knows the truth. And anything other than infinite intelligence judgment is faulty. We're not meant to judge. So when we judge, that's where cruelty is born, because we're seeing something that's not there. We're judging based on faulty perception. So the answer to this rhetorical question is no, we do not judge rightly. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. And that's what it's saying. Look, you think you're judging rightly. You think you might be correct in what you're doing, but you're not. You're not. Cruelty is not the answer for anything. So whether it be cruelty that is brought upon you or cruelty that you're heaping onto another, it's still off the mark. It's still not warranted. It's never warranted, no matter who or what it is. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So being estranged from the womb, later on it's talking about being stillborn, but being estranged from the womb in this sense, you could also see it as misusing our powers. We're misusing our powers because the womb, in this case, is that which gives form to our thoughts, gives form to our ideas, also called Shekinah It's the substance. It's the divine substance. And remember when that character named Jesus, who is in the New Testament of the Bible that so many people read, he said something that a lot of people really don't understand. If you understand it from an esoteric point of view, it makes a lot of sense. He says, there is only one unforgivable sin, and that's the sin against the Holy Spirit. And what that means is that since the Holy Spirit means the Shekinah, the divine substance underneath all form, that until you change your thinking, everything that you place within that substance is going to be given form. So don't ask to have your circumstances changed. Ask to have your thoughts changed. Because even God can't undo God's law. And the law is that what you impregnate in the womb or in the Shekinah must eventually be given form. So you don't want to say, oh, I'm going to think whatever I want and please save me from the effects of my thinking. That's not how it works. It's please change my thinking. Please change my thinking. And that's how we get saved or delivered, if you will, from the negative effects of our thoughts. So wherever this cruelty is coming, we're not so much worried about being delivered from the cruelty as we are asking to be delivered from the cause of the cruelty. And that cause is within the mind, whether it be a mind that we perceive to be our own or the person who's the perpetrator. But we want the cause of this to be taken care of. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So when you are speaking lies, then you get the effects of lies. And if you're getting the effects of lies based on somebody else's behavior, your point of power is first and foremost cleaning up your own mind, because all minds are joined. So if you clean up your own lies, and you may not think you're a liar, I understand, most of us don't think we go around speaking lies, but you do. You speak lies in that you see things that are not true and don't question them. And you perpetuate the ego lie that you're separate, that you're vulnerable, that you're all by yourself, that you're a victim. And again, we're not blaming the victim. We're not saying that the bad things aren't happening to you. Don't start that. But we're talking about metaphysically, magically speaking, that if we clean up our own side of the street and we recognize that any thinking within our own minds that is at odds with the fact that infinite intelligence has all power, and that through infinite intelligence, all can be taken care of, all can be healed, then we are speaking lies. Those are lies. So now we are pulling ourselves together and we're aligning with infinite intelligence, and we're not allowing ourselves to think that anything but that power can fix this. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. When we're talking about the poisonous serpent here, we're not talking about the serpent of wisdom. We're not talking about the kundalini. We're not talking about the serpent in the garden. What we're talking about is an actual poisonous snake that is going to kill you if it bites you. And it's saying that this poisonous snake is immune to sorcerers, immune to the snake charmers, immune. Nothing's working. And that's so important to understand when we're in a situation like this, that all of our old tricks don't work anymore. When we're in a situation where cruelty is overtaking our lives in some way, and we recognize that our old tricks don't work anymore, then we are forced to turn to infinite intelligence because we can't fix it. Our snake charming doesn't work. Our sorceries don't work. Our wands don't work anymore here. So there is only one option, and that is to realign ourselves with infinite intelligence, in whom there are no lies. There is no cruelty, and all of this behavior is abolished in an instant. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Now that sounds really mean. It sounds like we're going toe-to-toe with cruelty. We want God to go toe-to-toe with cruelty. But what we're asking for is that this cruelty can't harm you. A lion with no teeth, a lion with no claws, what's it going to do to you? Hug you to death? There's really very little it can do to you once it's been declawed and defanged. And that's exactly what we are asking to have happen to this cruelty. Defang it, declaw it, take away its power to harm us. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. The way they interpreted this is very interesting because they're talking about those valleys in the desert. When a rain comes, those valleys fill up, but then they evaporate really quickly because it's the desert. So that's the image here is, yeah, there may be this cruel behavior, which is like when the rain comes and the valleys are filled with water, but they're so quickly evaporated because of where they are in the desert. Let that cruelty evaporate as quickly as the waters in the desert. That's a great image. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut into pieces. Just imagine this cruel person just aiming their arrow straight at you, and as soon as they loose the arrow, it dissolves into a million different pieces. It's fragile, it just breaks away. Nothing can work on you. Or like a gun, like a machine gun or one of those assault rifles or something, and they shoot it at you and it turns into a bunch of flowers or a bunch of butterflies, and they can't hurt you anymore. No matter what they try to do, all of those scary weapons that they once had against you, it just doesn't work anymore. Wonderful images here. As a snail, which really should be a slug, as a slug which melteth, let every one of them pass away. So they're just nothing but a slug melting into the earth, passing away. The thing that was so scary, that being or those beings or those people or that behavior or that situation that is so scary, that seems so cruel, that seems so undefeatable, is just nothing. It's just nothing. It's just a slug. Like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. It's like a stillborn child. I apologize to anybody who's lost a child to have to go through this image, but it is in the psalm. We're seeing it as anybody's desire to harm you is stillborn. It doesn't live. Their desires can't live. They can't give them life anymore. Their power has been taken from them. Before your pots can feel the thorns, he shall take them away as with a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. Nothing that they plant, nothing that they make, nothing that they fashion against you has any power over you anymore. Why? Because infinite intelligence doesn't jive with that. If you are one with infinite intelligence, if you are one with this force of the universe, nothing can be against you. And all of those things which used to scare you can't harm you anymore because it's you and the infinite. And one with the infinite is a majority. And when infinite intelligence is for you, nothing can be against you. And infinite intelligence is for you. And that's why it's so important to get your mind aligned with that power, aligned with that force. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. Now, just indulge yourself in this image. We're not asking that these people actually die, but just indulge yourself in the image of whatever those problems are, we're going to bathe in your blood. And think about what that is as a magical image. The essence of what was so scary is that which is cleansing you now. That which was so scary, the essence of it, the blood of your enemies, is that which is cleansing you. So there's nothing that can harm you. There's absolutely nothing that can harm you. So that a man shall say, verily there is a reward for the righteous. Verily he is a God that judgeth the earth. We're back to judgment. There's one judge, and that's the infinite. Infinite intelligence is at a vantage point that can judge everything. We are not. So it's not up to us to say, this is what should happen to this person, and this is what should happen to that person. And if I don't see karmic retribution in a certain way, then it didn't work or whatever. That's not up to you. None of that is our business. Our only business is to be freed from the effects of this cruelty. That's it. That's our only business. The rest of it has nothing to do with us. So it's not up to you to judge people, even people that are cruel, because you don't understand necessarily what they're going through or what caused this or any of that. The only thing you have to worry about is being freed from the effects of cruelty. So they can be as mean as they want to be, and it doesn't touch you. It doesn't affect you. It can't harm you. It all bounces off of you. And in fact, it cleanses you, according to that one line. So no matter what they do, all you do is become stronger and more successful and happier. But you don't get into how are they being punished and what's going on and when will I see the effects of their punishment and all of that. That's not up to you. That's up to infinite intelligence. It's not up to you to judge them as being evil and bad or anything. All you're here to do is to get freedom from the effects of any of the cruelty. And that's not just a little thing. That's everything. So as you get that freedom, as that cruelty no longer affects you, you'll see how things work out and it'll be very self-evident, but you stay your mind on the infinite. You keep your mind on the infinite, not on your own ideas of judgment. And that's how you stay free and clear from all of this cruelty moving forward. And all will be well. So you just keep coming back to this psalm each and every day until you get a sense that it's working. You'll get a sense of peace and certainty about the whole situation. And that's an indicator to you from your deep mind that all is well, and that your spell has been completed and you don't have to keep casting it anymore. And when you get that sense of peace and certainty that all is well, then you can just stop and you can move on to something else. And you'll know that your spell has been cast and that the manifestation of it is imminent. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, blessed be.